Welcome all sins and commandments alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, and screw that shit. We are into episode 22 of Nanatsu no Taizai, and it is... Guys, this is insane. This episode is epic. This episode, I mean, I do have my nitpicks. I do. And I know you guys hate me for those, but I will bitch. I will bitch about certain things in this episode, but... Nope, fuck that shit. This episode was incredible. I loved it. I just finished rendering and posting my manga review for chapter 272. Please go watch that, of Seven Deadly Sins, the manga chapter. And then I decided to sit down and watch the episode 22. I did watch it last night, but then I thought, you know what, I need a little bit of a refresher. And I was hyped then. I'm hyped now. I am so goddamn hype, because that battle did not disappoint. The animation did not disappoint. I could tell you that with more money and more time, could they make it better? Okay, little bit here and there, but overall it was true to the manga. And the reason we love this fight, the reason we were hyped for this fight, was because the manga did it right the first fucking time. This is so good. Guys, this is such a good fight. And it takes up the majority of the first half of the episode. And I don't mind that. I really don't, because this is what we were all waiting for. The rest of the episode was good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we go into seeing Denzel and what he does with his sword and crap like that. But who cares about that shit? It was all about Estarossa versus Escanor. And I just gotta say, guys, like, I'm not gonna go panel by panel with this shit. I'm not. I'm gonna complain one time. Just one time, guys. One thing. Well, actually, two things. One, I love Denzel. And the fact that he sacrificed his own body and then became, you know, betting it all on this goddess who thought she was all that in a bag of chips, just to run away like a bitch because she's scared shitless of the Ten Commandments and then to get slaughtered. Denzel had a better chance of not releasing this Nerobasta goddess from the sword and just taking his chances on his own might. Honest to God, he had a better shot. And it's a piss off because there was no payoff. He didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. She got herself and Denzel killed. That's what she did. That's a piss off. Because I love Denzel. I thought Denzel was a great addition to the cast of characters in Seven Deadly Sins. The other thing, I complained last episode, the review, about the line changing at the end, saying, I am Lion Sin of Pride, Escanor. Then, but before, in the manga, as I said before, it was such arrogant pride. That is my sin. Better line. Also, I brought this up in the last review, only a day, two days ago. What are they going to do about the confrontation about Estarossa thinking he's worthy of knowing this warrior's name? They're going to leave it out? No, they don't. But now that scene makes no sense, because like 35 seconds ago he told you, I am Seven Deadly Sins, Lion Sin of Pride, Escanor. 35 seconds later he says, what is your name? Like, and Escanor doesn't go, I already told you, or something like that. It would have been a cop-out, but at least he could have said, I've already told you once before. I shan't tell you again. I am Lord Escanor, or something like that. No, he just goes, my name is Escanor. It's like, did you just forget the ending of the last episode? Did you just forget what you told him? Like, Escanor would not have let that pass, the character. And we as fans should not let that pass. That was a stupid addition. That was a stupid change to make. I'm just going to say that. Alright. So, the rest of the battle. Super well animated. Of course, Escanor and Estarossa duking it out like bosses. They're freaks of nature, the pair of them. They're beating the shit out of each other. And this beyond expectation, especially the beginning of the battle with just the general fist fight. Then, of course, we learned about Esterosa's full counter, and it's like, oh, damn, it's a physical full counter. What the hell is Escanor going to do? He's like, cruel son. You know, like, no issue. No goddamn issue with Escanor. He does not care. And he's like, oh, well, that would, like, I experienced pain. Oh, because you reflected my own attack back at me. Of course, one of my own attacks would make me feel pain. Of course, of course. Like, what a prideful, arrogant son of a bitch. Love Escanor. Love Escanor. And then Esteros is like, well, your pride knows no bounds. You crack me up, human. So, let's play some more sort of idea. And then Escanor's like, yeah, let's do that, cruel son. And he's like, you're going to melt all the armor off. You're going to kill all your comrades. You're insane with that amount of magical power. And then Escanor's like, Bon, is Lake Paynes over that way? Bon's like, yeah, but what the hell does that matter, you idiot? And Escanor's like, fine. Poof! Force palms Esterosa miles away over the lake. And then shows up. Boom! Cruel son. Pride flare. Boom! Basically obliterates Esterosa. Esterosa comes back. What? How the hell? And Escanor's like, no big deal. No big deal. I'll take you down. Now Esterosa, of course, brings up, you know, the fact that he could use darkness. Because, as he states, and it does make sense, he goes, between the two of us in physical ability, it doesn't matter if you're stronger, I have full counters. So all your physical attacks are nullified. Now when it comes to magic, I'm going to dwarf that too. And he uses the darkness to kind of encompass or totally surround the sun that Escanor uses his power of sunshine. Okay, makes sense in theory. In theory. But as we find out, and here's a good point to make, and I missed this because I was waiting for this and it did not happen. In the manga, Esterosa mentions something about a voice change. Doesn't mention it here, and there doesn't seem to be any true voice change in Escanor, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But either way, you know, Escanor kind of steps up, looks over at him, and just kind of goes, my attacks cannot reach thee. And then Esterosa said, you know, no physical attack will harm me because I have full counter. Slashed across the chest, bleeding. He's like, wait a minute, I didn't see him attack. And that's when you realize one thing. If Esterosa can't even react to Escanor's attacks, full counter won't work because he needs to be just as fast to be able to activate full counter. He needs to see the attack coming, and he couldn't see it. So now he's bleeding all over the chest, and then Escanor states once again, my son will be destroyed by a peck of darkness? Who decided that? And he breaks the darkness out with his son, and he looks down on Esterosa as this giant, massive, like he's towering the size of Diane over here. And once again, in the manga and the anime, I still don't know if this is figurative. I think it is. I don't think Escanor actually grows to that size. It's just metaphorical in a sense. It's to show off how towering, how menacing Escanor appears to everyone at these moments. Because then he just says, the only one who decides these things is me. And boom! Zeldris tries to fly in and save Esterosa. Boom! They're both gone. Now we clearly know, because in the next few shots we see that piety, the commandment of Zeldris, is still in effect with the Holy Knights he affected earlier on in the episode. So we know that Zeldris is clearly not dead. But what about Esterosa? Well, he took the full brunt of Escanor's attack. So, you know, there is one thing, though, that does change from the manga, and I don't really like it. He claims in the anime that he can no longer, after exerting himself so much, he cannot control the divine power of Reiter much longer. But in the manga, and this will make more sense later on, I don't know why they changed this, because the anime has more information than the manga originally did, and they usually, like the purgatory scene in the last episode with Meliodas and the Demon King, they spoke of things more coherent and more knowledgeable and just a better way of explaining things. In this scene, it doesn't make sense, because he states that it's nearly noontime and he won't return to Leonis until afternoon. That's significant. For you anime-only viewers, that is significant, because as we know, Escanor's power rises with each minute, each hour of the sun. So, high noon, not saying anything else, guys. That being said, we cut away from the Escanor Estarossa fight, and okay, we've had the amazing battle. And it was amazing, guys. This episode was well worth it. So great. The rest of the episode focuses mostly on the protection of the rest of the castle, because Escanor is, of course, standing by miles away from Leona's castle. But there's still Derriere and Mont Speed to deal with. Now, Denzel and Death Pierce and everyone else comes out, and Denzel decides to, face down Derriere and Mont Speed himself by activating a ritual in his sword to bring forth Nerabasta, one of the goddess clan, within his sword, and offer himself up as a vessel. But as I stated earlier on in this review, this was a moot point because she's a bitch. She refuses the request of the humans asking for aid, looks at the Ten Commandments in fear, and books it. Derriere kills her. So there goes Denzel. There goes Nerabasta. What was the point? I kind of understand the point as far as the storytelling perspective, but I feel like this was a big waste of Denzel's character, who was one of the strongest holy knights, bar none, in all of Leonis, who might have stood a better chance reorganizing and doing a multiple attack with other people rather than sacrificing himself for this bitch who basically went and got herself killed out of arrogance. So yeah, not a fan of this whole dynamic, this whole scene. Derriere slaughters this woman inside of Denzel's body, and it just doesn't end well. The rest of the episode, we move over to Elizabeth, Zarathos, and Hawk moving forward on Mama Hawk, going towards Leona's castle. There's a big epic kind of, okay, well, we're gonna fight. Zarathos is fighting off red demons like they're bitches and stuff, but there's ash demons and red demons following them. Mama Hawk's like, screw this shit, and we get another example of Mama Hawk's badassness, swallowing purgatory birds from Mont Speed and slaughtering ash demons and red demons like they're nothing in her wake. Then we see Derriere and Mont Speed show up, and Derriere is very shocked and surprised and pissed off to see Elizabeth. Why? We don't know, but it's she clearly has a vendetta against this person. But of course, we've seen that, Elizabeth was a reincarnation of Liz, potentially Liz or someone else of another reincarnated person. Kagome Kikyo memories floating up in my Inuyasha brain here, stating that maybe they were more pissed off at a reincarnated person previously rather than the current generation, because as Elizabeth says, I don't know who you are, and Derriere wants to slaughter Elizabeth. Now, Zarathos, badass as he is, I wish they showcased Zarathos being more stronger. I feel like Zarathos deserves to be stronger than he is, portrayed at least in the anime here, or in the manga for that matter. But he does, Mont Speed kind of stands behind him and says, it's futile. You can recognize that your power is not enough. Zarathos gives no shits and still attacks Derriere, gets his shield broken, falls back to the ground. But still, you tried, buddy. You tried. Good on you. Good on you, man. And this is where it's kind of like, okay, well, Elizabeth is about to kind of be screwed over because, yeah, 2 commandments, Zarathos down for the count. What's going to happen? Tell you what's going to happen. Meliodas back, baby. Meliodas is back. The Dragon Sin of Wrath is back to kick ass. Punches Derriere in the gut, falls down Mama Hawk. Mon Speed is like, what the hell, derriere, and runs after her, and Meliodas is like, holding Elizabeth like bridal style, kind of like, oh, came back to a shit show. I wake up from a beauty sleep and this is the shit you guys got into? Like, what the hell? And just looks down at Elizabeth, but he does say one tender thing. You know, sorry for making you worry, sorry for making you wait for me, Elizabeth. And then Elizabeth is like, no, it's fine, you know, and just looks up Meliodas. And not, I think this is significant, because in the English version, the English dub, it's always Sir Meliodas or Lord Meliodas. And in the Japanese, it's always Meliodas Sama. You know, or Dono, Lord, that kind of idea, sir. Right here, it's just Meliodas. It's not, no honorifics, nothing. It's just Meliodas. It's like, aww, that's sweet, guys. That's tender. That's sweet. That's kawaii. That gets my, you know, my cold dead heart feeling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, either way, guys, love this episode. Really, really love it. I hope, one of the big things I'm hoping for, I didn't expect it to happen here in this episode, but this scene with Elizabeth and Meliodas, when Meliodas first comes back, and by the way, not spoilers for the current manga chapters or anything, but how did he get out of purgatory? Why did he wake up? Like, how does he pull this shit off? He's clearly fighting the Demon King himself in purgatory. Last we saw him. Now all of a sudden he's back. So is it just a, like, is it a time limit? Like, how does this curse work? The curse means he cannot die, meaning he's constantly sent back into his body. He can't kill himself no matter how much he tries. So what? Does he argue with his dad for 3 days and then come back to life? Like, I don't really get how this curse works, especially with the current manga chapters being what they are. No spoilers intended, guys, but this curse is making less and less sense, to be honest with you. I don't really get it. So if someone could explain it to me, I would rather, if it's going to be spoilers as far as the manga is concerned, please post what you think in my manga reviews, not in these videos, so you keep the anime reviews just for anybody who's only watching the anime. Keep them spoiler free, sort of idea. I would appreciate that, guys. Now, that being said, guys, this is basically the end of the episode, the end of the review. What did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment, as always. It's always appreciated, guys. Please drink responsibly. I normally don't do that here, but it's been a long day, guys. It's been a pretty long day. So, that being said, guys, please keep watching, keep subscribing, keep liking every video you see that you like or dislike it, and tell me why in the comment section below. That being said, guys, Griever, as always, signing off.